Hey everybody, how are you doing? It's Dan's Monsters here. The weather outside has just gone horrendous. It was very sunny. Now there seems to be a thunderstorm. Oh well. How are you all doing anyway? Everybody doing okay? We all doing well? Strange times, as I always say. So, first, little bit of admin. Some paperwork time. You will probably notice that I have just changed the channel now to Dan's Monsters rather than the Monster Bomb Club, and reintroduced George the Beast rather than my black and white spiky haired self. Why? I don't know. I was getting a bit confused about the two different projects, the two different names, and I just decided in the end, after much deliberation, that I will just stick with the Dan's Monsters. I was going to get rid of Dan's Monsters originally because everybody thought it was Dance Monsters and thought I was some kind of dark dancer or something. But no, I decided, no, I'm just going to stick with it. Everything's got my name on it, my email address, my website. It was just going to be far, far too much work, and the history behind the name that I had for so long. I decided that, you know, I'll just keep it. I'll just keep it, and that's okay. I hope you're all happy with that. If you're not, let me know in the comments. But Dan's Monsters it is, not Dance Monsters for some kind of evil line dancing. Although I suppose that could be a thing. Right, well, that's the admin part of this video over with. How thrilling. So, what are we on with next? These are the Megalithions. I think I have done a video based on these guys before, but I thought I'd give you a bit of a better idea about what I was doing with them and where the idea came from. Now, as a lot of you may be fully aware, that I am into rocks. I'm also into rock, but mainly as well rocks, as in geological rocks. Fascinated with geology for a long time since I was at school, and I've been lucky enough to go and see the geological wonder this year at Iceland. It was quite windy and cold, very cold, but what a wonderful place. If you ever get the chance, please go. I'm very lucky. I've been very lucky to go there. Oh, so lucky. Oh, it's making me just have a bit of a moment thinking about it. So, Iceland, geological heavens, but also I love monoliths and stone circles and all the kind of stuff that goes around that as well. Places like Easter Island, of course, the Ring of Brodgar on the Isle of Orkney, Meghalaya in India, I think it is. That's probably a terrible pronunciation. And of course, Stonehenge. I've always just fascinated with the idea of these big monoliths that people built for whatever reason. We don't know. Many a person will say, oh, it's this, oh, it's that, oh, it's human sacrifice. We've got no idea, really. So I love those, and I'm fascinated by how people worship them and how they got them there. And then I'm also fascinated by how rocks are made. Rocks in general, how they are crushed and rolled and formed over millions of years. It's just something that just my brain always tries to comprehend, and I've read books about it. And even though I was terrible at chemistry at school, and I couldn't do geology because I was rubbish at chemistry, I have always been fascinated by rocks, rock formations and mountains, which is probably why I go climbing a lot of them as well. Being in the outside's very good for you indeed. So I thought about these rocks and maybe rock creatures, maybe like the Thing from the Fantastic Four, and Concrete, which is a great one, a comic by Paul Chadwick. Do read that if you can. Concrete is a fantastic comic. So I sort of thought, sometimes with work I go over Shap, which is a place between sort of Leeds, and it goes over the Pennines, and there's these little lumps of rocks, and I thought, wouldn't it be really interesting if those rocks like woke up at night and I had this sort of story formulating in my head. And then whilst I was away in Scotland up on the Isle of Mull last year, I also had this idea of what if these rock formations that we see are actually beings from millions of years ago that are just sat underneath, and all we can see is like the top of the head or an elbow or a knee. And I had this whole plan in my head that I am still formulating, and I've done quite a few illustrations, which I will show you at a later date, about these, what I would call megalithions, because they're monoliths or megaliths, which again are just these fascinating things. And I thought, right, well, let's put the name on. It's a really crummy name, isn't it? Megalithions. I don't know where I got the name from. It just popped into my head. Whether it suits or not, I don't know. But I just thought, I'm just going to go with it. I like it. It gives me the thing. These weird shaped, sort of angular rocks made out of all sorts of different things. And I had this idea that they came from the formation of the earth and crashed into the earth, and as the earth cooled they were sort of sealed in the earth, and then every few million years they would rise up and have a wander around, and then go back to sleep for another million years, and then rise up again and have a wander around with the dinosaurs, and then go back to sleep again, and then rise up again, maybe in the future, who knows. And they would inspect the world around them and see how the place has changed over many millennia. So I have this whole story set out, and whether they get names or not, I don't know. I haven't got that far yet, but I have ideas of where they will come from. I think I'm going to either turn it into a comic strip or like a illustrated book. I don't know. I have yet to ponder that one, I have to say. Something I need to just think about. So, what is a megalith? What is a megalithion? A megalithion is a giant being millions of years old, created out of the rock of the universe, that wanders from planet to planet, and some trapped in our Earth's crust at the birth of the world. Megaliths, on the other hand, are a scientific name which was first coined by a British antiquarian, I believe, if I remember rightly. What's his name? Let me have a check. It's Algernon Herbert, 1849. He's got the term from Greek, mega, as we call it. Oh, that's mega. That's massive. That's amazing. Mega, giant. Meaning great, and lithos meaning stone, so megastone, so that became megalith. Now these were all sort of created between the Neolithic period right through to the Bronze Age. I mean, that is a hell of a time of making these giant stones, and I think there is a range of I've got some notes here that I wrote down. 35,000 of them just across Europe alone. That's from the sort of far north of Europe right through to the Mediterranean. And then, of course, you've got them in Korea, Indonesia, across Asia. You've got them in Africa. They're just all over the world. And they're amazing. I mean, look at the ones on Easter Island, those big carved figures. You know, why did they do it? Don't know. Will they ever come alive? Ooh, there's a thing for you. So yeah, there are just so many of them, and I find them utterly fascinating. And they've got so many different names as well. I mean, the names alone, you could make characters out of. Sistervians, Simple Dolmens, Tumuli, Cromlech, Cyclopeans, Kurgans, Nuragai, Talayots. I mean, Murray, which I think that's a really bad pronunciation. That's Polynesian. So you've got Ehus and the Maui and the Pukeo, which is Easter Island. That's terrible pronunciation. So I do apologise. But you know, these things are they're everywhere. And then of course you've got how rocks are actually made. I mean that just crushed over billions of years to be. Billions might be a bit much, but millions, into these little tiny, carved by icebergs and all those sort of things. Just absolutely wonderful and fascinating. So my the study of rocks has gone into sketchbooks now, full of these kind of weird rock creatures that I'm going to make a whole world of, which is going to be this Megalithion world. So I hope you look forward to seeing what I'm going to do. I think it'll be quite fascinating, even though I do say so myself, and I hope you like this picture. Like I say, there will be more. Certainly when I've read up on a few more rocks. I mean, rock names themselves are... Oh, what was that? Rock names themselves are just a fascinating thing. Igneous rocks, sedimentary rocks, metamorphic rocks, of which are... So igneous rocks, things like granite, obsidian, gabbro and pegmatite, which has crystals in it, and then you've got sedimentary rocks, obviously, which is like your conglomerate, chert, coals are sedimentary, and metamorphic. I mean, that's a great name. So metamorphic has got gneiss, and you've got schist, and then there's like this sort of terms, amazing terms for sort of geological rocks, kimberlite and hornfells and igniberite. I mean, I'm sure all you geologists will like throw me out of the water because I can't pronounce any of them. I was rubbish at chemistry, but that's just like, wow, what a load of names. I mean, you can just play around with them all day, and I certainly will. So I cannot wait to get diving into that. Not that I'm a scientist. I mean, I wouldn't even say I'm an artist, to be honest, but there you go. Now, and when I talk about comics, you've got to read Concrete by Paul Chadwick. It's an incredible comic, went on for years, and I believe there's a new one coming out soon. Obviously, you've got The Thing from Fantastic Four, Ben Grimm. I mean, he's a great character. And there's a really, really good comic called Rock Bottom by Joe Case and illustrated by Charlie Adlard. It's about a chap who suddenly finds out that he's started to turn to rock. And it's really good, not rock. Yeah, really good. I can recommend that. Check them out. I'll put some links somewhere. Anyway, look, guys, I am spiraling towards the end of this rock face, so I am going to go away as I'm nearly finished this. As you can see, usual thing, watercolours, ink, colouring pencil, and those child's watercolour set. Good flipping thing in it, that. So yeah, thanks very much for watching. I hope you like it. Stick around for more. Going to be some slight changes. Might start telling some stories soon. Do some TV stuff maybe. Not TV stuff, I mean stuff based on TV. Anyway, there you go, guys. Enjoy it. Have fun. Bye.